Got another devotion today. It's almost perfectly in line with things that have been in my mind lately. Psalm 46, verses 1 through 3. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore, we will not fear, even though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea, though its waters roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with its swelling. Selah. Selah means pause, by the way. You'll do a word video on Selah. But for now, the devotion reads, As I sat and huddled in the basement of a building, while a tornado ripped and roared above and around us, I looked at the faces of those around me. I knew most of them well enough to know whether or not they were God-fearing and God-loving people. Some were, some weren't. As I looked at those who weren't, I could see an obvious difference in their attitudes and even their facial expressions. They were tenser, more anxious, and less calm than those of us who know and love Jesus. They didn't have the peace of mind that comes in knowing Jesus. The peace that says no matter what happens, you will be okay, even if it's not the world's standards of okay. As I looked up at those people and wondered, I wondered what they do to calm their fears and put their anxieties to rest. I was and am thankful that I know where to go for help when I am afraid, and when times are hard, I go to the same place, to the same God who was there during the good and happy times too. Will you let God be there for you too? Reflection. Do I go to God when I am worried and afraid? Will I give him control of my life? I've been rail fanning a lot, making a lot of rail fanning videos. A lot of that's to avoid the burnout from work, and I've been thinking a lot about work lately. It's been a dream come true, but also a mess at the same time. But God's been good to me, and I've just had a lot on my mind. I've been experiencing a lot of fatigue, and that's why a lot of these Bible videos have been kind of more rushed and not in depth. Of course, the same can be said when I was working at Castor too, so I just need to get my life together in general. But as far as dealing with anxieties and going to God when I'm worried and afraid, this devotion spoke to a lot of what I've been feeling lately. And, working at the railroad, there's a little saying that goes around that people use to, I guess, brush off the fear of being involved in a derailment or a derailment situation, where they say, with my luck, it wouldn't kill me, just screw me up. And I've been guilty of saying this phrase too, as a joke. But it honestly does show, because I do know that some of the people I work with are not Christian, and I pray for these people. And sometimes I do notice it where they do have a lot more fear for their lives, and that's not to say that I don't fear for my life as well, especially when someone tries to rush me. I refuse to rush, because when people rush, they skip safety steps. When you skip safety steps, that's when somebody gets hurt or killed, and I refuse to do that to myself, and I refuse to let somebody do that to somebody else because they were do that to themselves because they were rushing me. But so I'm not trying to say that I'm not afraid of getting hurt on the job or even killed on the job. because I do have things that I want to live for. God has given me things to live for, and I do want to live for those things. However, I am glad that because of God, I don't have to have that same fear that others do for their lives. And honestly, would I rather a derailment situation kill me than to just mess me up? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I can't say. I haven't been in that situation. But I can say this: if I did get killed, I would be better off dead than they would. That is the peace that Christ has given me, knowing that because I repented and placed my trust in Him, in the righteousness that He died to credit me with, not my own righteousness because I have none, but because He has credited me with His righteousness because He died taking the punishment that I deserve. I know that when I die, I can go to heaven and be with God. That's a peace that I have that I can't say others have. But I pray that they do. I pray that they come to find it. And you out there, if you don't have it, I pray that you do. I pray that you come to know Jesus. All you have to do is repent and place your trust in Him. Trust in the righteousness that He died taking your punishment so that He can credit you with His righteousness. Because you have no righteousness of your own. Your good deeds are not enough, but His good deeds were more than enough. His death was more than enough to cover all the bad things you've ever done. And because of Him, as long as you accept that and receive the gift of His righteousness, no matter who you are, no matter what you have done, where sin abounds, grace will abound that much more if you accept this free gift. And let me tell you, as somebody who works in a hazardous and potentially deadly situation every day, now of course that's a bit of an exaggeration because I don't fear death every waking moment when I'm at work. In fact, it very rarely crosses my mind. But as somebody who does work in a situation where literal death can easily happen if somebody's not paying attention, the peace of knowing God, it comes in real handy. Anyways, guys, hope this video has blessed you. I hope it's been food for thought. Hope to see you in the next one, God be willing. God bless you all.